Oh my God, even with the Vaseline on, it gave me a little bit of a stain. Hi you guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Code. I am so excited for this video because we're talking new makeup and we're talking a lot of new different red colors of lipstick that we try on. This happens to be one of my favorite shades that we tried on today. It does pull a little bit warmer in the monitor than it looks in person. However, the formula is really great. I'm really excited to talk to you guys about it. I'm also really excited to talk to you guys about a new tinted sunscreen. We're talking new bronzer. We got a bunch of good stuff in this video and I'm so excited to get into it and get started. So if you're excited for this video and more videos like this, then please like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this new makeup video. New makeup, let's get into it. I'm so excited. Skin's already prepped. Brows are already on because we don't have any new brow products today. We're moving to complexion. And I'm so excited because this is a new tinted sunscreen, which you know how I feel about sunscreen. Sunscreen is so important, but sunscreen mixed with makeup, I love it. We're talking about the new Supergoop tinted sunscreen. It's an SPF of 50. Wait, 50, right? Yeah, 50. There's so many shades. I was so excited. I broke my ankles running to my computer to purchase this. I was so excited. So I got the shade, oh my gosh, how do I read this? 32N. And the way that I like to use, always shake stuff before you use it. I like to shake it. So you can use anything you want. I prefer to use my hands with this. I find if you use other things, sometimes it can get streaky. So this is the shade 32N. I felt like this was a good shade for right now because I'm pretty pale, but also I can make it work when I get a little bit more tan, which I don't really like to tan too much. I'm going to put a little bit more on the back of my hand for my face. There you can see. And I like to just apply it with my hands. And this has like a light sunscreen smell, but it isn't so sunscreeny where I feel overwhelmed with it. It is a light sunscreen scent, but it does smell like sunscreen. And I know some people don't really like that. I should probably be looking in my mirror. This is it blended out and it's so, so pretty. It has such a nice natural look to the skin. I do feel like your skin prep for this product matters because sometimes if you're gonna, I know some people don't wear face cream or stuff with sunscreen. However, if you're going to, just make sure that it works well with this product because I don't think all like face creams or face products that you use are going to work with this and could create some pilling. I've worn it with skincare, like skin prep underneath it. I've worn it alone. I like it both ways. However, again, not everything is going to work with this because not everything works with sunscreen based products. So just be aware of that some products you might use in conjunction with this might create some pilling. But for me, with the prep that I used, which was a really basic, just face cream from First Aid Beauty, I was good to go with this, and I don't have any pilling with kind of that combination. Again, I do feel like using your fingers is the best way to blend this out. I think when you use a brush, which I feel like in general, using sunscreen, you should use your fingers, but when you use a brush or a sponge, there can be a little bit of streakiness. It's not bad, but it's just something to be aware of. Now, I love the way that this wears throughout the day. I don't feel like I'm a greasy mess by the end of the day, and I do have combination skin, so that's really nice because sometimes sunscreens can either be drying by the end of the day or can be super, super greasy by the end of the day. I feel like I enjoy the way that this wears and I'm not a pool of oil or feeling super tight and dry by the end of the day. What I will say is occasionally, depending on the dryness I have a little bit of a breakout here because it's my time of the month. I can't talk about it. I had a little bit of a breakout here and I have some hyperpigmentation here from about a month ago that is not really dry anymore, but when it was drier, by the end of the day, not when I applied it, it felt like it was clinging to those spots a little bit more. But besides that, it's great and I really like the way that it wears. Now we're gonna move on to bronzer, and I was really excited when I saw this was coming out. This is from the brand Ciele. This is like their like bronzer contour type product. I got the shade Tan. Wait, is it Tan? Yeah, Tan, and this is an SPF of 30, which I love. Just I only know on the sunscreen. And this is such a beautiful shade. I want you to see, look how pretty that is. I feel like when I'm more tan, it's going to be ideal. And I've been really, really liking wearing it. I love the fact that it's not too sheer. And it also doesn't have, like, as you can see, it has a very nice finish to it where it's not dewy, but it's very natural. It doesn't feel flat on the face. So I'm going to put a little bit more on the back of my hand. You can just streak it on your face. I have found that I don't love to do that, with, not even just with this product, but just in general. I feel like I can just disrupt so much on my face when I do that. So I prefer to put it on the back of my hand, take a brush and dip it in, and then just bronze up my face that way. And I really like, oh, look how beautiful that is. It is just so good. Look how pretty. It's so beautiful and it is so easy to blend out. This is definitely going to be a product that I grab so much, especially when it gets a lot warmer out, because this type of bronzer is so ideal because it isn't matte, but it isn't shiny. It has pigmentation, and because it's not shiny, I mean like dewy, because it's not dewy or anything like that, it lasts really nicely on the face and it just blends like a dream. I feel like this is a really good dummy proof bronzer and contour stick. To me, this is a little bit warm in general for a true contour, the shade on me. However, I don't really contour my face because I feel like I look absolutely crazy with contour. Then I'm going to take what's left on this nose contour brush and I'm going to pull it down the sides of my nose, not to contour, but to add the bronze to my nose in a really natural way where it doesn't overwhelm my face, because when I put bronzer down the front, like full front of my nose or even tip of my nose, it ends up looking questionable at best. So we're just going to pull it down the sides of my nose. Then I'm going to blend it out with the other side. We are bronze. Now, before I go on with concealer, we're going to go on with a new blush, and we're going on with this new shade from Bloom Effects, which I was so excited to get in the mail. They actually sent me this because I really like their blushes and just the finish, and I don't know, they're so good. And this is the shade Stroopwafel, and we're going to do a little bit on the back of my hand. It is such a pretty shade. And I feel like it'll look really nice with the lip colors that I'm going to be trying on in a little bit. And where is my brush? We have a brush here. So this is the shade here. And I'm going to kind of blend it out so you can see. It's just a really pretty, I feel like this is such a good spring shade. I don't know. And these formulas, they're more of a, not necessarily super sheer, but they are more on the sheer side. So oh my God, look at that pigmentation. It's just so pretty. I was saying, I can't remember what I was saying. Oh, I was saying that they're more on the sheer side in the sense that like once you fully blend them out, you're not like stuck with the pigmentation that you have, but they are very buildable. But because they also have more of a dewy type finish, they are not the most long-lasting blushes. However, they do wear really beautifully throughout the day. And by the end of the day, I still feel like I have some blush on. It's just not as much as I applied at the beginning of the day. Now we are going to move on to a concealer, and I'm really excited about this one. It is the new Saie Beauty Concealer. I got the shade 13. Wait, did I? Just saying things without confirming. Yeah, shade 13. I really, really struggled to pick a shade in this concealer. So I kind of just went with the shade that they recommended for the skin tint and foundation that I have. I would have maybe gone with a lighter shade, but I do enjoy this shade. It's just for right now, I feel like it's not necessarily going to work for me. It's going to work for me more in summer, but that's okay. And I feel like blending this one specifically with a brush is great. Fingers, I don't love blending this one out with. I just feel like because of the texture of it, the texture isn't necessarily thick, but it's not like the thinnest formula. And I feel like when formulas aren't super thin, this is the shade, here we go. Can this focus, please? This is the shade 13. I feel like when it's not as thin of a formula, I don't love using my fingers. So a brush or a sponge works really well. We are blended out. Again, I probably would have gone with a little bit of a lighter shade, but this is nice. It's gonna work really well for me when I have more of a tan. Now, I do feel like the way that this wears is interesting because depending on my under eye prep, sometimes it kind of not settles into fine lines. It almost accentuates my fine lines. Especially if I do not set it with a powder. But again, it's not even that it's settling into the fine lines. It almost like is highlighting them. I don't know how to explain it. So I definitely like to set this concealer because then I don't really have that issue. I do find at times, depending on, first of all, how tired I am, how hydrated I am, but also what I've used under my eyes, sometimes it can get some settling, but it's not anything that looks really ugly by the end of the day. It's just something to note. So again, I do recommend with this concealer that you do set it with a powder. I do feel like when I use it around my face, it doesn't accentuate any dryness or anything like that, which I really do appreciate and enjoy because sometimes stuff just clings to dryness and texture and just makes stuff more apparent. This does not. I don't prefer this as a concealer around my face though. I prefer this just for under eyes, and around my face I prefer the Merit Beauty Foundation Concealer Stick. However, this, if you did use this around the face, this is a nice product because it's not gonna highlight any dryness or texture, at least in my experience. It is really, really nice. And again, I'm not gonna fully set this so you can kind of see the way that it wears. So now we're going to move on to the eyes, and we're going to use the Ciele bronzer, and we're just going to put it all over our eye. And now that we look fully insane, we're going to blend it out. Then we're going to take this eyeliner, or this is really a multi-liner from Tower 28 in the shade Draw Me, and I'm going to use it to line my lash line. And I'm going to do a little lash curl. Now I'm going to take a little bit of this Minori highlighter, and I'm going to highlight the high points of my cheeks. And I take a little bit of that too and put it in my inner corner. And then take a little bit of that same highlighter and just pull it down my nose. Then we're going to go on with mascara. This is the Westman Atelier. This is the I Want You mascara. Is that right? Yeah, I Want You mascara. And we're just going to do a little, we're going to do just one coat on the top and a light coat on the bottom. All right, before we go on to the lips, we're trying on a bunch of different lipstick colors. I'm going to add just a touch more blush, like just right here to the tops of my cheeks. And I'm just using what's left over on the back of my hand. I'm not putting more product on the back of my hand because I don't feel like that's necessary. Love how this makeup's turning out. Feeling cute. Now we're going to move on to lips. And today we have a liquid lipstick, which I know is terrifying because 2016 gave us PTSD to like super drying liquid lipsticks. However, this formula is not like that, which really made me excited. So this is from the brand Pound Cake. They actually sent me these. Oh geez, I'm dropping things already. This is from the brand Pound Cake, and this is their liquid lipstick, but they have a bunch of reds. And their whole thing is they made a bunch of reds so you could find the perfect red for your complexion, which love that. That's amazing. So this formula, I really like the way that this feels on the lips. This kind of reminds me of the KKW Beauty. I don't know if it was like Velvet Matte, if that's what it was called, or something that was more whipped, but this kind of reminds me of that formula in the way that it feels on the lips. Anyway, so we're going to try these all on, and you'll have to tell me which one's your favorite, because some look great and some look insane. And I'm going to actually leave this lip balm on instead of not, just because my lips are going to be crying by the end. And I just feel like let's give them a little extra moisture. So this is the shade Strawberry, I believe. Yeah, Strawberry. And you'll have to tell me what you think. I don't love this shade on me. So this is the shade. I know that studio lights are messing this up. So I am going, because this looks crazy in the monitor, so I'm going to include actual screenshots of what it looks like on my lips because sometimes studio lights are just so bright. So this is the shade Strawberry. And this does have more of a matte finish. I am wearing a balm underneath it just for the first one because I needed a little extra hydration. This is more of a matte finish. However, a matte finish, to me, it's not so matte where it looks like there's no moisture on your lips. It has more of a semi-matte finish, which I really, really enjoy. So this is the shade Strawberry, and the accurate representation will be on the screen. It's a very much more bright, I would say, and a little bit more orange than it looks in person. So again, on the screen is what the shade Strawberry looks like. Very comfortable wear. Now we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, next we're going to try on this shade here. This one is the shade Red Bean, I believe. Is that Red Bean? It is Red Bean. And this one I feel like is a little bit better on me than Strawberry, but you have to let me know what you think. This is Red Bean. This is, again, looking a little bit more orange in person. So I'm going to do a picture of what it looks like. And this is, again, what it kind of looks like without anything underneath it. And it does set down a little bit more than this. It takes a little bit of time to set down, but it doesn't like move around your face like crazy or anything like that. And the way that it feels is, again, very whipped feeling, at least in my opinion. This is a very pretty, this one of a lot of them is kind of one of my favorites. This is a nice red that isn't bright. It's more muted in my opinion, but very, very pretty. Let's move on to the next one. All right, we are removed. I have a little bit of Aquaphor on my lips because I forgot from the last time I wore how much these stain your lips, not in a bad way, because that's amazing for when you're like going out and you're eating and drinking. The color really remains on your lips, but it is so hard to remove. So we have a little bit of Aquaphor on to make, because we got 3 more to try on. We're gonna go on with this one next. I think this is Raspberry. And we're going to apply this. So this is the shade Raspberry again, really, really pretty. I like the way that this has more of a blue undertone than it is pulling in the monitor. As you can see, I'm going to put the picture on the screen again, but this is really, really beautiful. I love the way that this shade looks when I this one specifically, when I wear it a little bit more like a stain. So I take a little bit and just kind of tap it out on my lips and kind of create more of a stain. It's a really, really pretty stain color. But this is, I actually really enjoy the shade too. Let's move on to the next one. Oh my God, even with the Vaseline on, it gave me a little bit of a stain. We're gonna remove that and then come back and do the next one. All right, fix that. We were looking a little crazy. Now let's move on to the next one. I have a little bit of Aquaphor down again because I want to be able to show you guys the full color of all the lipsticks, but sometimes the stains are so intense. Next, we're going to go on with this shade. This is the shade Red Velvet, I believe. Yes, Red Velvet. And this one is really pretty. I feel like a lot of people, this shade would work for you a lot. A lot. It would work for a lot of people. This is really, really pretty in person. Again, it's pulling a little bit warm and bright in the monitor, but I feel like just reds in general, anything with a red undertone in studio lights always looks a little bit brighter and a little bit on the warmer side than it does in person. Again, we took a picture, but this is really pretty. I really enjoy the shade. And when I wore this was a shade that my husband commented that he really liked. It's very, very pretty. Again, this is more of a soft matte finish in my opinion, but I have a little bit of Aquaphor underneath because these stain the crap out of your lips. Let's move on to the next one. I just want to show you the stain that this one left. Bananas. Even with Aquaphor underneath, it's crazy in a good way. I love that red stain or these red stain because then you don't have to worry about them as much all night, which is really nice. Okay, I'm gonna finish removing this and then we're gonna move on to the last one. All right, we are removed, or as good as it's gonna get. Now we're gonna move on to the last one, and this is Boysenberry, I believe. Bloodberry, Boysenberry. This is Bloodberry. And we're gonna go on with this last, and this one I'm not gonna put any Aquaphor underneath it because I don't need to worry about a stain and trying on other shades, so we're gonna use this one next. The way I like to use this liquid lipstick is because of the shape, I like to kind of lip line first. And this is more of the finish that it has. It does set down a little bit more, but I do really enjoy the way that this wears. Again, I like to wear these as, this shade specifically is the one that I like to wear as a full lipstick, but I like to wear the other ones as more of a little bit of a stain on my lips. They just last so long, which is amazing. And through drinking and all of that, you don't really have to worry about your lipstick just completely being patchy looking. Because of the stain, it really does wear really, really nicely. I love the feeling that this has on my lips. Like towards the end of the day, I'm not screaming and crying and throwing up because my lips are so dry, because again, it's more of a whipped formula. I will say it doesn't fully set down to like a traditional 2016 liquid lipstick. It's kind of feels more of that whipped type of liquid lipstick, but it doesn't crack like a traditional liquid lipstick or the ones that we're used to from 2016. It has more, it's like way more comfortable to wear, and it's significantly less drying. It does have a matte finish, so it's not hydrating, obviously. However, my lips don't look all crunchy by the end of the day, which I really enjoy about this formula. But again, it is still a liquid lipstick, but it's a very comfortable wear, non-Sahara drying liquid lipstick. I really, really like the way that this feels and looks. And this is one that, this specific shade, I'm going to wear a lot next holiday season, because this is going to be, Bloodberry is going to be my liquid lipstick of the holidays. I'm really, really impressed with this formula, and I'm really excited to see what else Pound Cake comes up with. Like if it's a new product or other shades that they come out with, like maybe if they came out with like all nudes, different nudes for different people, I would love that, because this formula is really great. And I feel like a lot of people still have the nostalgia for the 2016 liquid lipstick, but they don't want the PTSD they got from the liquid lipsticks. And I feel like this formula is a really good solution to that, because it is still, I mean, you can see it still has like a matte finish. However, it's not so matte that it's going to suck everything out of my lips, and I'm gonna just end up looking like this, because I have like, my lips are just so dry. This is a really comfortable, geez, I'm about to drop everything. This is a really comfortable wear lipstick. And yeah, that's it for my new makeup video. I would love to know down below, what new launches are you excited about? What are you kind of looking for, on the hunt for, whether it's a highlighter, a new skin tint, a new concealer? What are you kind of on the hunt for? I would love to know down below as well. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.